Good afternoon, and whoa, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Give me 1 sec. You will not see me at all. Please subscribe to Season AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. You're watching Season AY, the platform where we're speaking truth to power. Good afternoon and welcome. 1 second. Let me check. I'll be there in 1 second. Is that correct? Yeah. Should be able to see my face now. Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome. If you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook, we're grateful for your support. How you can help us is, of course, to share the broadcast. Share our broadcast. We will endeavor to share it to as many people as we can hear. We really do need your support in growing the platform. What you've seen there is really quite shocking, and it's something that we needed to really try and explain. And it shows you why we keep talking about education. Please do share. Let's give me a minute whilst I just get that in place. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 sec. Please do share this broadcast. It's very important. And I might touch on a whole host of other issues, but I'm more interested in what is happening within our communities rather than what the government is doing. And the more the people are aware of what they can do, the more they can take control of the situation. That's how I'm looking at it now. Let's have a look at this now. Let's have a look at this now. 1 second. Okay. So there, and then 1 minute. Just give me a minute, please, because I'll be doing a simultaneous broadcast. It's going to be a simultaneous broadcast, and as such, it might be a little bit fiddly here and there. What I want to do is to do it, I'm going to try and do it on Facebook and YouTube, but not necessarily on Facebook. I'll be showing it on Facebook, if you like. I will show it on Facebook, but YouTube is the go-to place. So please do share this broadcast. Help us grow the platform. We appreciate your support. We really do appreciate it. Without you, we'd be nowhere. So please, we're grateful for your support. Continue to share our broadcast and let it reach as many people as possible. Let us see how else we can do this. I'm looking at options, so just bear with me. We're gonna go live on TikTok as well. So, good afternoon and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a minute. Been off, been on screen for some time, but it's it's good to be back. And although I've been posting about things a lot. Let me see if I can add and share to people that I know of. I'm going to add as many people, and we need to talk about these kind of things now. Susie, let me see if I can pick up Susie and Chika. Yeah. So 1 minute. And the Constitution. So I'm gonna just try and talk about that. So hopefully, at least people will look at that, the heading, and join us. It might be more specific today. Those of you that are on TikTok, good afternoon, good afternoon. It'll probably be more specific. Those of you that are on TikTok to Nigeria. But having said that, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick up instances in your own community where what I'm saying here is unfortunately happening. But please do share. Those of you on TikTok, can you hear me? I want to know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Do let me know and give us a thumbs up. Cyrus, good afternoon. So today's topic, I might broaden it to the update on the Africa Zoom 54. Africa Zoom 54. I will talk about that later on in the broadcast. But in the meantime, please do share. Give us continue to hit the like button on both platforms, on Citizen AY, TikTok, and of course on YouTube as well. And don't forget to share the broadcast. We do need your support. It is of immense importance that we continue to get your support, because that way it can reach more people. So good afternoon to you. Welcome. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Oh, I need to do something here. I just realized, what's today's date? Okay, it's the 12th. Okay, I'm gonna do 12th of April. So okay, so we're end of the week then again, it looks like, in Yoruba, which I'm gonna do something about. Give me 1 second, please, those of you watching me. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go in there. Just give me a minute, please. I'm just gonna quickly do an update. Hi, Favor. Good evening. Godson 9. Okay. Basil, Scooterban, Prakash. Good evening to you all, and I appreciate you all. I hope you can hear me all right. So let me just say hi quickly, those of you that are there. Good evening to you there also. So Akara Ogun. Oh my gosh, yes. Akara Ogun. Yes, maybe you might want to, I'm going to follow you so we can actually follow each other. I'm doing that right now. The topic is about the degrading treatment and the no education, and it's a very important topic to raise, because it is obvious now that one of the problems that we have is to have our constitution in a foreign language, and when we have a different language or various languages that we're using, it's actually not helping develop our own communities, and there are countless areas in which this is the case. And what I'm really trying to say here is that the instance in which this injustice is happening, the rate at which it's happening, is troubling in our economy, in our nation that we call Nigeria, and we need to really address that. So that is why I am really trying to talk about this issue in a much more deeper way. So give me some time. I need to just explain it slowly, and it might take some time to follow what I am saying, because it's very, very people in Africa will understand what I'm saying. People in Africa will understand that. Oh, maybe I don't want to stay in that picture. Actually, no, I don't want to use that picture, because yeah, Facebook are hot on that. Just give me a minute. Not Facebook, YouTube. So give me a minute. This is what I mean. There's a lot of things that one has to really look at and decide the best course of action at times. So I think this is probably the one to use. Is that the one? No. 1 second. Okay, open the other one. That wasn't the one to use. Just give me a minute, please. I have it. I just need to find which one it is. Okay, that's the one. Got it. Okay, now I can talk about this comfortably and not feel the broadcast may be flagged on YouTube. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up. So basically what you see behind me is a picture of a young girl, and she is being unfairly treated I believe today is the 12th of April, and I think it's the last day of the Yoruba week. If I'm right, I hope I'm right. Others can correct me. Because we have a 4-day week in Yoruba nation, and this is in Yoruba land, and that's one of the things I'm really proud of. We need to put ourselves first. In terms of our discussions around ourselves, we've got to be comfortable with being who we are, and having respect for everybody else, but having respect for ourselves first and foremost. Because, and to be able to do that, you need to know who you are. So I always say that about everything I do on the platform. I always talk about the need for us to reconnect to who we are. So those things really do matter because it plays a huge, impact, plays a big impact on how we do things, and that is something we need to address. And it impacts the way we live our lives. Would you believe it? It does impact the very way that we live our lives because we often don't know who we are. We don't understand how things are meant to be done because of this this deep indoctrination. I like to call it deep indoctrination. There's no other way to put it. Like I said, I've just found out now that in terms of the artifacts looted, there are artifacts in I've said it in that Vatican. They're showing it and they're earning money on it, and it needs to be returned. Now I have to acknowledge that one was returned to Ghana, and I'll probably talk about that as well. There was one artifact returned from Ghana and to Ghana. Now we do hope it's a real one. We don't. We hope it's a permanent thing. So we hope it's not just a one-off. But there's a lot of things that we need to understand about ourselves. We see the action of taking our history and hiding it from us and forcing us to follow foreign religions has actually brainwashed many of us who believed that brainwashing to be their existence. They didn't question anything, they didn't do anything, and now we are doing that. And that is for me, I say that is a good thing because we need to know who we are. We can't just go by the say so of one person who says, oh, no, 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 no. By the way, that's not it. This is how you are, and you have to, and that's not right. That is clearly not right. 1 second. I've got a calendar. You will see a calendar just flash past you very quick there. But I don't want to show it yet because everything is set. As a calendar itself, it is ready to go. But I just it's trying to fit it into with the Gregorian calendar. Our calendar works fine. But because it's fitting with the Gregorian calendar, you do have to sort of make sure that those times are working. And it may well be that at some point we just decide, okay, you know what, we're just gonna, they will run side by side, which is what will happen, which is what we want to happen. So do bear with me. It's not I've forgotten. That is something that we're working on, as well as many other things that you see, on the broadcast. And thank you for those of you who have been following us all this time. Now, let's go into it. Enough of the trying to give you the background. Now, the picture that you see behind me, you see, I've had to cover off. It's much, much worse than it is. It is much, 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 much worse than it is than you see on the screen. I've had to crop it and not really show, how bad it is. Basically, this young lady was, she was forcefully married, and we have to say this. And this is why I talk about the need for not just when I talk about education, please, I need you to not think about it in terms of languages. Please, it is not about languages. It's not about being English, because a lot of people associate education with French language, with English language, with with foreign languages, but they don't associate it with us, with our way of life. When a mom raises a child and the child is able from the age of 3 to be able to sell, to trade on behalf of the mom while she goes inside to get something and come back, that is education. That is education. And all too often, psychologically, we have been put in this state of mind where we automatically, subconsciously associate education with key things that have been placed in our minds, i.e., you speak in English, you speak in French, you speak in German, you speak in, you are going to church, and all of those things. Even in Ifa, there is education, a lot of education. There, and people will tell you, and that is what we have got to embrace about ourselves as Africans. So you see, all this narrative that Africans are not educated, we have to demystify it, because some people believe that, and then they lose themselves. Now, the case of this young girl that was beaten up. Let me see. Okay. So, anyway, the case of this young girl that was beaten up she was beaten up in a state called Zamfara State in Nigeria. So you may not know it. For those of you who are not Nigerian, you may not know it, but the information is relevant nonetheless, if anything, to at least raise the level of awareness about how we have been indoctrinated by both religions to actually dehumanize each other and think that is okay. So we've been taught that, both by the Islamic religion and Christianity, to dehumanize each other, believing we are serving a faith. And it isn't. So these are the kind of things that we have to address in our communities. We need to address it. And I believe this is probably Africa-wide. What I'm saying here is probably Africa-wide. But the specifics of the discussion today are on Zamfara. So let me read it to you, and then we can go into some more details. Now, basically, I saw a video, and I cannot show the video because if I showed you, it's actually a physical abuse of a child. For me, in any language, in any culture, it is not acceptable. In Yoruba land, there is something we call Omoluabi ethos. The Omoluabi ethos means that you will use different ways to get people to achieve things without having to resort to physical violence. It is something that many of us Yorubas will understand. Omoluabi, that is someone of good, coming from a good home, good character, being able to, interrelate with people without resorting to violence. So let me state automatically that the idea that physical violence and African societies are interconnected, have always been interconnected. That is another thing we have to demystify. We need to demystify it in our culture. And that is why reconnecting and studying who we are is so, so important. People don't understand when I'm saying we need to know who you are. This is deeper than just, I know I'm Yoruba. No. The ways and things. The Omoluabi ethos, it is something so fundamental to Yoruba people that when you go out, when you meet people on the street, how you greet them says a whole lot about you, about your family, about if you following, if you are very respectful, if you're reliable, and all of those things. But unfortunately, the psychological plan of the colonial religions to make us really reject our culture, changing the names, telling us it's vernacular in our schools, making sure everything is in English. You have to, all education now gets connected to that language. No. everybody around the world, if you are speaking any language, whatsoever, you need to understand that you are getting education. It is really important to understand that. And we need to begin to think from that point of view as Africans. You know, this idea, I'm sending my son to France, I'm sending them to Britain, I'm sending them to US, they're going to get good education. I'm sorry, I think we need to rethink that. There are a number of things that is now apparent that the entire structure of the world has based on this false narrative of who you are. And then you are expected to accept that false narrative. Now, as I'm about to tell you now, that false narrative feeds into what is happening with the picture that you see behind me. Now, so the young girl, she was forcefully married. And unfortunately, this is one of the flaws in the Nigerian constitution that I've always talked about. You know? So, what we need to do, what we need to begin to do, thank you very much, Akaraogun. Yeah. So, now, what we need to begin to look at is this. This young girl that you see in the picture, those of you who are on TikTok and those of you who are on Facebook, please do share. Subscribe to Citizen on YouTube. Help us grow this platform. I'm trying to share to other places, but it's difficult to do because the information I'm trying to pass out is very important. Please do share. Now, what we need to understand about this is this. She was forcefully married. Unfortunately, our constitution under section 20, I think is 4, subsection 4, says any woman married, any girl married shall be deemed to be of full age. That's what it says. In fact, those of you on YouTube, unfortunately, TikTok, you won't be able to see it, but I'll read it out to you. I'm going to go into it because I think we need to really think and break down this damage. And there is a lot we can do by building amongst ourselves. It really is time now for us to not allow any barriers that have been put in place previously to stop us. So now, let me read to you what it says in the Nigerian Constitution. Chika, my sister, hi. Thank you very much. Yes. Let me throw you an invite because I need you to join me on this. I'm going to throw you an invite, Chika, because I need you to join me on this. Because the young girl was beaten in Zamfara. She's not even 12 and she's been married. So Chika, do join me if you can. I really need you to join me. She's gone again. Let me see if I can find you there. You're on laptop. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not there yet. They've withdrawn it, but you can leave comments. Now, okay. So now let's go and look at section 20. I believe it's section 20, if I'm correct. I think no, hang on. There is a section that talks about immigration, and then in there it talks about when you are is it 29 or 39? I can't remember. 1 second, please. When you are married, as long as you are, yep, there you go. So you can see it on the screen, section 29, 4B. Section 29, 4B of the 1999 Constitution. It states, those of you that are on YouTube, you will be able to see it. Please do share this broadcast. It's very, very important. This is why we need education in our local languages. We need it in our local languages. Now, let me read it to you. It says, for the purposes of this subsection, full age means the age of 18 above. And then it says, B, listen, any woman who is married shall be deemed to be of full age. Do you get that? Any woman who is married shall be deemed to be of full age. So That young girl was forcibly married under that constitution, because the constitution allows for that. And people may not look at, as long as he said that, they say, no, I can marry, I don't have to, it's my right. It is very, very wrong for that to happen, because that child is just growing up and trying to educate herself. Now, we have issues with the education that we're getting. When we are getting Western education, particularly on the African continent, please, it is pure indoctrination. It is not real education. I'm sorry to tell you that. Any education that you are getting on the African continent as an African, hear me well, is pure indoctrination. You are not being educated at all. You are being told to, you are being prepared for a role that those who you meet their criteria will now use you for that role. That's not education. That's not free thinking. These are what we need to understand. And that's why when we're saying Africa must be free, it's deeper than just saying we are free. We're not independent. You heard the Sierra Leonean First Lady said it on my video on TikTok. There's over 35,000 views on that. Thank you very much for those of you who are liking it and following it. Continue to follow us on TikTok, and of course, subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Help us grow that platform. So what we are saying here is this. You see, the education that we are getting, when you control those who control your education, those who control your thought via your education, your religion, and what you eat, they control you. It's that simple. Let me say that again. Those who control your education, your religion, and what you eat, they control you. You are absolutely enslaved to them. Psychologically, because if they pull one of those things away, you will feel sick and you will crawl back to get. It's a psychological thing that's happening here. This is deeper than just, this is deeper. Yes, Chika, we're not independent. So I'm trying to break this down and tie it in into what happened to that young girl. So you can see now, section 29 4B. Any woman who is married shall be deemed to be of full age. Now, I hope many of you will see why I am insistent that in terms of Nigeria and the Constitution needs to be reviewed and revisited completely, in my opinion. And we must all, this is a high classic case. So let me bring the picture of the girl up again and we'll read the story briefly. I'm not going to play the video because it's vicious. It is actually, they were physically, 6 to 7 men were abusing a young girl of maybe 10, 11. They should all be arrested. And I want us, Chika, if you can get involved, if you can come back and do a show, you and I, and get on this case and not keep quiet. Let the governance, if they say they want to work, if they say they are different from Tinubu and from Buhari, then let them prove it by arresting those men, putting them through the courts of law, and addressing this serious concern about marrying young girls off. It is wrong. It is. I mean, I have a daughter, and you know how that made me feel? I was like, what? Nah, I was incensed. I saw it, and that's why you're seeing me doing this program. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please do endeavor to share our broadcast and help us reach more people. So let's read now. It says, she was forcefully married in Zamfara State. So it's in the north. Okay. She ran back home to pick up her books. So she ran from where she was forcefully married. She didn't want to marry. What does a child, if you see her, she's no more than, she can't be up to, if she's 12, if she's 12 years old, our own Yoruba nation is still going on. Yoruba nation is going on. There are times when you have to do strategic moves. And I will come and talk about that. But let me just finish this. I can remind me again, our own. Yoruba Nation is something that we mustn't let go of. But we need to walk. We need to walk towards it. We have to walk smarter. It's not about making noise. It's about having impact. You see that? It's not about making noise. It's about having impact. And when you have impact, you achieve your goal. And I think we need to really begin to, one of the things, again, I go back to all of this stuff. Unless we are collectively free in the whole of Africa, and I mean the whole of Africa, we have all been dumbed down. Our societies have deliberately been dumbed down. That is the effect of colonization. That's the effect of it. But unless we are willing to analyze this deeply, all of us, in a calm, professional, and calm manner, and then begin to unpick those things and forming strategies around how we can cope with each of any given situation in various communities, then we will keep going. We are going around in circles. And the only way to stop that is to analyze, why are we in that circle? What put us in that circle? How do we get out? So, Yoruba Nation, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Okay, happy to hear that. I'm going to pin that up. So, we can talk some more about it. But like I said, if I start talking about that, then I'm going to veer off in a different direction for some bit. But let me come back to this. Now, so she ran back home to pick up her books to continue her studies in secret. I mean, can you see the intelligence in that young girl right there? Can you see? She knew that education. Yes, I know that. I mean, of course, we need to rewrite everything about education, but at least she had that inkling, that instinct in her. No, let me go and pick my book. So she ran to her home to pick up her book and go back. She even respected her parents and her husband. So, I mean, to say, I'm looking at the picture of the girl. Oh, man. I feel like crying. I just feel like crying when I see her. You know? And it is all well and good to hear I'm celebrating Women's Day, I'm celebrating Child Day and all that. But the reality on ground means those are just empty words. So this is where we need to start the work from. And this is why I talk about the need for us to have, the Constitution, to have things being done in our local languages. Things must begin to be done in our local languages. And what I mean by that is that we must encourage our people to know their rights in their local languages. Because when they do, those men will not be able to get near that young girl. The parents will not allow it. Because in the Constitution, it states, every individual, section 34(1). I'm going to show those of you who are on TikTok, you won't be able to see it, I'm afraid. But those of you on YouTube, you will. So let me show you 34(1). Let's go to 34(1). Now, we've talked about 29B, which is, the illegal, the totally wrong law passed that you can any woman who is married shall be deemed to be of full age. Full age means 18 years and above. So if you are 10, if you are 2, if you are 3, once you are married, you are 18. You are 18 and you can vote. And you are taking the lives of those children away from them. That is what is the real concern here. Yeah, that's the whole of Africa. Yes, this is the whole of Africa. So, I want to, let me just, oh, it's frozen somewhat. I can't, okay. I'm trying to pin your comment. Yeah, it's coming up. So I'm going to try and pin your comment. So there are certain things that we need to do within within Africa and actually prevent. and not allow it to happen. The case in point, a child, under no circumstances should a 12-year-old, they should be in school. And we should really, ensure that we put things in place. No, yeah, okay. Yeah. So we should really put things in place to make sure that within our communities, that there are safeguards that operate in our local languages. Because oftentimes people don't understand it. I mean, you're gonna go and be reading to somebody in English. Oh, you can't do that. When they speak a different language, and they won't comprehend what you're saying to them. So now, let's read section. Beg your pardon. 1 second, please. Oh, I'm still a bit feverish, so I'm a bit. So I take that off. I'm recovering from a cold, so I'm sweating a little bit. So I'm having to, because I have to keep warm. So bear with me. Do bear with me, those of you watching. Please give us tap, 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 tap. I wasn't going to come out today, but I thought we need to talk about this. Yeah, good place, children. Yeah. Bring you up. Okay. Yeah, let me do that. Let me bring you up. I'll bring you up. Yep. I'll bring you up. Fantastic. Okay, so now, we can have a discussion about this, and talk about it, and probably we'll share it on, and please do share, all of you who want to join in. So let me see if I've got that closed off. Can you hear me all right? I don't know if you can. Once you join, let me know. I will definitely. Are you here?
Good evening.
Oh, hello, hi. Hello, hi. Oh, Chika, my sister, it's great to have you on board. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we finally, got you on board the live. Thank you. How are you doing? And
Can you tell me?
yes.
Yes, I'm doing something. Yeah, I'm busy, but I can stay with you maybe like 3 minutes.
That's fine. No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you know more?
Yeah. Hello.
That girl, the girl in question.
That's I'm trying to find that out. What I will do is I will try and send you a video. If you
What's her religion?
you know what? It may well be she's from Zamfara State. That's what I know. So I don't know what you can take from that. She's from Zamfara State.
Yeah, help me dig deeper.
Okay, I will do. I would.
Help me.
I will. I will do some.
What's the Christian
It may be she might be Christian, but the thing is, the fact that she was married off suggests to me that she's Muslim, because her parents agreed to it. Chika, did you hear me? So
yeah, I don't. Let's be sure, because I would like to talk about it.
okay.
Like if she's Muslim, I
Yes.
would like to talk about. AY, what I discovered is that
Yes.
these people put a lot of things in their book. They said the prophet did it because they want to be doing it.
Yes.
A lot of things in in the book they are reading. They said the prophet did it because they too want to be doing it because they said the prophet did it. So I don't want to talk until we are certain
Of
that
course.
she's a Muslim or she's a Christian.
Of course. I mean, I'll dig a little further and I'll let you know. But whatever the case be, it cannot be right that a young child is physically abused by 5 or 6 women.
But our government don't care.
Yeah.
Your own.
I do. Yes.
Your own in Nigeria as a child, as an adult. You're your own. You're just praying for God. You're your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're your own in Nigeria. You're your own in Africa.
Yeah.
It's not like UK.
No.
Where there is law and the order.
No. You're right. And that's a sad reality for millions of children who will be placed in that situation, like you said. What would you say that that people on ground can do right now to start addressing that? Do you have any suggestions? Because I like looking at solutions.
For now in Nigeria, there is absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know anything. Yeah, I don't know anything anybody can do because sometimes the whole thing look like jungle. I don't know.
What about actually, because I believe, forgive me, one of the things I realized, I've done something with the Constitution. I've actually translated. I don't know if you can help me. I'm looking for somebody who can translate the Constitution into Igbo language, and I can share it on my platform. Because I've realized that there are people in the villages and those areas, they don't know those rights. They don't know the rights as written in the Constitution.
Even if you know your right in
Yeah.
Nigeria,
Mm.
you have there's no system to back it up.
Mm.
I'm telling you, even if you know your right.
Okay. Okay.
You're just trying to stay safe. That's all. Even if you know your right, there's no system.
There's no system.
To back it up.
And okay, all right, okay, fair point. I hear you. Okay, there is no system, and I recognize that. But what if our action as citizens somehow has to put pressure on the government that, look, we're not safe in our own country, because yeah. Go ahead.
As you are talking online now, that's the only thing you can do.
Mm.
You can't go further than. I'm telling you, you can't go further than that. They say it's such a jungle.
Mm.
I'm telling you, it's such a Africa as a whole, not only Nigeria.
I know it's not only Nigeria. It's a, but we need to. I don't believe that we are hopeless. I just believe that we are not aware of the vast amount of array of talents and knowledge that we can tap into within ourselves, within our communities, to actually change things around. I believe that strongly, but it just needs us to actually communicate with our people in the language they understand, community by community. I think it's not going to be easy. Yes.
You see the people you are fighting for.
Yes.
You see these people you are fighting for.
Mm.
They will turn around and fight you.
My sister, you don't finish matter.
These people you are fighting, you want to fight for, they will turn around and fight you.
Yeah, but
the ignorance is too much.
Mm. Mm. So they're happy going to the church 5 days a week, going to the mosque 5 days a week, and all that.
That's why the churches are trending, because the churches are giving them what they want to hear and what they want to see. They are not tired of going to church and people lying to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even though we are putting out information like today, the other day now, I found out that Vatican, they are holding on to 10,000 of our own African artifacts and sculptures. They are earning money on the museum in the Vatican, and they say they're not going to give it back. And
and let me tell you something. Do you know that all the Catholic churches in Africa is still remitting money to Vatican?
You see that? You see that? This is so this is good information. So the Catholic churches are remitting money to the Vatican. Wow. My sister.
They gather in the village. They'll be gathering the money.
Wow.
At the end of the day, they send the money to Vatican.
Wow.
Vatican is still collecting money from Nigeria.
Oh my goodness me. So on top of keeping 10,000 of our sculptures and spiritual artifacts, they are now also profiting from us praying to their gods and then giving them the money.
Yeah. When my father was alive, if I send money to my father will use it to go and pay dues.
Oh my goodness.
Then one day I was interviewing my father. My father said that there are some dues he pays. Some goes to Vatican, some go to Pope.
Yay.
Some percentage. My father was telling me, so if you give money to my father will now pay. We take the money and pay to them. So when my father died, also we have to pay some money to them also, so that they can come and bury him. If we didn't pay that money, he will not come.
Oh my
they
God.
will not come.
What?
Yeah, they will not come.
How?
Africa, as far as we are, Vatican City is still receiving money from the churches.
Oh my goodness me.
Yes.
Oh my goodness me. This is
sad.
you know, when you're planning and talking about something, and then you then have another whole load on it that just makes you just go, what?
Yeah, it's so sad. I'm telling you, churches and you see them once people that are supposed to be standing up for government, they are not standing up because they are well-to-do. They are not supposed to standing up for the poor people. They are not
Yes.
standing up because they are very well-to-do, and the poor people, the market women are contributing the money. You know, these people, God will judge them honestly.
Oh, man.
It's sad.
It
It's so
is.
sad.
It is. No. But thank you very much for this insight, because I knew one or two things, but I always believe that you learn something new every day. And this is a shocker for me. I thought maybe that they stopped the payments, but I mean,
Ask somebody, investigate it more. But you know, from all the states,
yes.
from all the states, they are collecting. When they collect money, they send some portion to Vatican City.
Does that
They still make,
does that
still make remittance.
wow? Does that happen across the whole of Africa as well, you think?
I think so.
Hmm.
I think so.
Wow.
Everything Catholic. Once it's Catholic.
Catholic, it is going to happen.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
You know, everything Catholic Church, they are going. They are sending that money.
Thanks. Chadra confirmed what you said. She said Chadra said yes. So, and in fact, somebody said globally.
I did their neck now. I did the neck of all these people.
Yes. Yes.
They say, Pope, this one goes to Vatican.
Ah.
This one, na Pope, they chop them. Poor people, we don't get water for Africa.
Oh,
Village,
God.
Vatican, they collect money. And they remit money to Vatican.
It's crazy. This is enslavement. There's no other way to put it. This is pure total enslavement. And something we cannot ignore. I mean, we probably have to come and do a particular show about this and try and get some things, to back it up. But to discuss. But because I think it's a topic on its own. But going to this young girl, our communities, we need education for what I think. We need to be educated from young. So, because you see, when your mind is strong psychologically, then as you grow old, and both people around you will see and sense it psychologically. The way.
You know why I'm asking you to check for me?
Yes.
If this girl is a Muslim or a Christian.
Yeah.
If it happen that this girl is a Muslim, when I carry this news, I would like make you come see how Muslims go react for my platform.
But I'm not bothered. Listen, they will react because they don't like to hear it. But it's please. In fact, I would like to come onto that show. I would like to come onto that show.
See, that's what I'm telling you. That I want to know.
Okay.
I want to get the clear picture.
Yeah. Let me. I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to play something, but I don't want it to. No, I better not play it, because if it comes on the screen, YouTube will just bring it down, because they were beating her. They were literally beating her.
No, you don't need to do that.
No.
Because if you do that, you might go on suspension.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm not.
I don't post things like that.
No.
I talk.
No.
But I talk. I want to know the denomination.
I will find out. I'm going to do some digging. I will do some digging and I'll let you know. But we cannot. We need to. But how do we? The question I'm asking is, and this is what we need to be thinking of in our community. When something happens, how do we make sure it never happens again in our community? How do we make sure? Because we seem to have this stopgap approach.
We are still too far from things like this. We are still too far.
So we you just leave it to whoever, whenever, by whatever happens, and we accept it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because the way these people are, one of them came on top of my platform today to authentify certain things they have on their books. I was like, what? I was like, what? Some of them, I preach, I talk about Islam, but
yes.
There are some Muslims. They're also coming to my platform to fight me. Because the area where I'm touching,
yes.
I don't want anybody to touch
Of course.
Yeah.
But these guys are Africans. I mean, you know what is worrying for me? What I've realized that.
But the thing is that most of the people the awareness,
yes.
education, something like that. That's the point. That's the problem. The educated ones, if you meet them, they are nice, good people.
Mm.
But some of them that
Oh.
not really, they are not there at all.
No. So I mean,
They're
but
not there at all.
you see, the thing that worries me is that yes, yes. Listen, we will talk later. Thank you so much, eh? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you, and we will talk some more. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. So I'm going to let her go because it was really nice of her to pop in. And that's Chica there. She has a great platform, and many of you are following. Continue to follow her. Of course, please follow Citizen AY on YouTube and on TikTok as well, and on Facebook. Help us grow the platform. So yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying. The system is not reliable. The question is when next? Once we talk about this young girl, who is it going to happen to next? And how soon will it happen? You know, and that is the question I'm asking. So let me just go and read section 34 1A, section 4 34 1 34 1A sorry 34 A 1A. Yeah, sorry, 34 1A. I'll read that to you briefly. It goes here. Every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person, and accordingly, A. No person shall be subject to torture or inhuman or degrading treatment. So that is in the Constitution. That states that in the Constitution. Now, what we need to do, yes, we need to talk. Oh yes, yes, please I will let me inbox me. Let me see. Am I following you already? I'm gonna follow you. Chadra, I'm following you. I've already added you. Yes. I'm added yeah. Okay. So I will have to reach out to you afterwards. Oh, do you want to come on air? Do you want to come on air at all, Chadra? Would you like to come on and just say a few words? If you do want to come on, I appreciate that as well. Okay, good. Perfect. Good. That's good. So ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, we're doing this. Go ahead. Welcome, Chadra, my sister. Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. What are your thoughts on what have you had so far?
You know, this for the
Mm-hmm.
children is a common word for Africa.
Yes.
But Africa, all is the same. He using the children.
Mm.
And the age marriage is not good, these children.
No.
Then we can do something. And we can change
Yes.
African mentality.
Mm-hmm.
We can change.
Yes. Gradually.
We need everybody for Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, talk.
Mm-hmm.
We talk in all African
Yes.
children, and we can do something. I don't know
Yes.
exactly where, but something we can do it.
My
The
sister.
more talk,
Mm-hmm.
the more you can have the benefit of people who listen.
Listening. True.
Yeah.
True.
What do I say?
You,
This is good. This job you're doing now, I like it, honestly.
oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm grateful. I will have to add you to, I have a group that I have, that we call it, I'm trying to get 54 Africans from 54 countries to do a Zoom meeting in the next week. So I'm going to add you. I will leave your, what I'll do is I will in the back you can either, I'll put my number, the phone number, and you can join that. In fact, I can read it out. I'll put it on the comment section here, but I'll send it to you, because we need to just have discussion among ourselves. We have to get comfortable as Africans to be able to see, because everybody, they are having meetings about how they want to solve the problem. But we are the ones who are just waiting for everybody else to tell us how to solve our problems. We are not having discussion among ourselves how to solve the incessant wars. Where are the weapons coming from? We don't make weapons in Africa, but weapons are coming into Africa. How do we stop it? Our people are being chased off their land because of their resources. How do we stop it? These are all interconnected to what is going on, because they want to make sure those who want those resources do not want the people to be on that land, because they want to access those resources. And that is why they use religion and they use all things to cause destabilization, to prevent people from being able to to settle and grow, a normal family life. So yeah, your points are very, 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 very valid. And honestly, we need to talk some more. And I'm really grateful that you joined. Yes,
Africa is free.
that's it. Yes, we have to work towards that.
And we deal the people he using for the children.
That's it.
Any religion, doesn't matter Christian, doesn't matter Muslim.
That's it.
We don't care where religion is from.
That's it.
We deal that people,
Yes. Okay.
So we can talk in,
Yes, we will keep talking. Thank you, my sister. Is there anything else you'd like to add before you leave? If you wanted to add anything else to what, if you want to add something more?
Yeah, I need the people to listen you.
Okay.
Honestly, you're doing good job.
Oh, thank you.
And that is good for all Africa. Doesn't matter what in Africa you're from.
Yes.
Africa is Africa. Black people is black people.
Yes.
It's still Africa is not free.
Yes.
Then we can do something. We can have independence for Africa. We have
Absolutely.
so
Yes.
we have gas, electric, we have petrol, we have diamond.
Inside the
Everything.
African section of the Vatican Museum.
Yeah.
Then we can stop, stay from European and America. We can stop all this. We can stop all this. We diet, hungry. We don't have food, the population. Then we can stop this. And you are doing good job.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, the God is witness you're doing good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. My sister, I appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you. And we have to be in touch again, but I'll send you the contact number.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Alright then.
Take care.
No,
Bye now. Bye. That was such a lovely discussion, and I wasn't expecting, or it wasn't planned or anything, and it's organic. You see, that's the beauty of what we're saying. Sister, and I mark my word, when something happens organic, okay, thank you. It usually means that there is going to be a lot more forward movement in what we're doing. So we are all part of this struggle. We can't just walk, and you can now see what is happening to the young girl. That thing happening to the young girl is impacting the entire African continent. There is instability on the African continent, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Zimbabwe, whether it's Congo, whether it's Sierra Leone, whether it's all of those struggle. We can't Zambia and South Africa. What is happening to the young girl? Anywhere in Africa happens to the young girl, we have the same problem. But we've been told how Kenya. Oh, you're from Kenya. Oh, fantastic, Chadra. Fantastic. So what we are saying is this: it is time for us. Honestly, it really is time for us. I'd like you all to join me. I will come back to later, and I'm going to launch the Africa Zoom 54. It is called Africa Zoom 54. You will see the logo. We've got a logo already. Something just to Africa Zoom 54. So it is time that we as Africans begin to talk among ourselves about how we solve our own problems. Let's not wait for somebody to try and solve it for us. Let's not wait for Europe to say, oh, we've got how to solve your problem. And I need to ask this question. Before I go too far, let me just quickly say something. I need you to also be. It is time that we as Africans begin to talk among ourselves about how we solve our own problems. Let's not wait for somebody to try and solve it for us. Let's not wait for Europe to say, oh, we've got how to solve your problem. And I need to ask this question. Where was it? 1 second, please. So I need you all to really be aware that we have to be very proactive and not allow this narrative that we've been told about who we are. We need to start rejecting it. We have been accepting. Thanks, Chadra. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. We have been accepting. 1 second, please. Reply her. So I need you all to really be aware that we have to. 1 second, please. I'm really glad that she came on. You're welcome. We'll be in touch. That we've been told about who we are. We need to start rejecting it. We have been accepting. 1 second, please. Thanks, Chadra. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, I think I know what's going on here. Give me 1 second. So you're welcome. We'll be in touch. So 1 second, please. I'm really glad that she came on. You're welcome. We'll be in touch. Okay, sorry, yeah, I got it. Yeah. So now, what am I saying? What am I really saying? we've been told the narrative about who we are as Africans by the same people who have looted our resources, our gold, our diamond, our plutoniums, our fish, our cocoa, our timber, like Ama Ata Aido said, the same people who enslaved us, the same people who called us different names. And they say they're the same ones who told us that we sold each other, forgetting the fact that several of our kings tried to go to the Berlin conference and say, when they heard they were going to carve up Africa, the king said, no, we don't want you to carve up, and we must be at the table. They said, no, you're not coming to the table. And they wouldn't let them go into the Berlin conference. 2 African kings. So when they tell you that you sold yourselves, they want us to be fighting each other. Now, I'm not interested. I'm happy for Europe to stand on and progress. The thing is, it is obvious that when the Europeans have carved up Africa and they're forcing us to stay in those areas that they carved up, whilst Europeans are free to move around Africa even now. If you have an European passport, you can go to almost any country in Africa. But if you have an African passport, you can't go to certain places. And what is worse, if you're South African, if you're black, I don't think you can go very far from the borders. But if you're white, South African, you can go across the whole of Africa. Can you see why we need to address this? We need to have discussions, and really look at practical solutions among ourselves. Many of us are leaving Africa under that false narrative, believing in that narrative. That's why we left. We left Africa because we believed in the narrative that was played to us. And I believe that it is now time for us as Africans to have our own platforms like this, where we can be truthful to each other, we can guide each other, and actually make sure that the coming generation, they take the right steps and not be fed lies and be given bad self-perception. And that is so dangerous. So we're doing the same thing over and over and over because that is what we've been conditioned to do. They bring the Bible to you, they bring the Quran. They say, oh, nothing is working. Go and read this verse in the Quran. Trust in the Lord, in Allah, it will happen. You go to the Christian, you're having problems. Go and read this verse in the Bible. Trust in the Lord, your problems will be solved. It is well with you. It is not well with Africa. Let us be frank. Let us say it. It is not well with Africa because the systems that are being used to control Africa have not been devised by Africans. They haven't. The nations we call nation are nations that we didn't create. And that is why within those places, you will notice there's always, in all of those countries, there's always 2 religions, Islam and Christianity. All of it to ensure there's division. Tutsis, Hutsis, Northerners, Southerners, and all of this is all, designed to keep the division going. And all the while, if you notice where the problem areas are where there's resource density. There is resource density. And that's what we need to really understand collectively as Africans. If we're going to put a stop to what happened to this young girl, then it requires us all in African society, in meetings like I'm talking about, this Africa Zoom 54, which I'm going to be doing next week. Do let me know if you're interested. I think I'll see if I can pin my number here. Can I put my number? I don't know if it will let me do it. There is a way I can do it, but I don't know. I'll try and pin a number or something. So what we need to do is to begin to meet up. And it's not just about Citizen AY meeting up. Let us all start doing it. When we start meeting, let's start making those borders invisible by meeting all 54, making sure that 54 Africans, as many of us meet up. Let's see how many of that they will stop. It's not about one person. It's about all of us. There's 1.2 billion Africans on the African continent, and there's maybe another 300, 400,000, that is Africans who are, direct connection to Africa. And then, of course, the distant ones and the Americans and the Caribbeans and all of that. So there is a lot. And also, please, when I'm saying this about Africa Zoom 54, I'm coming to the place, and I'm not going to speak to a few people. Looking out for the Caribbean Zoom as well, where we're just you just need to get used to being in each other's space, because we're not. We're always in a space that somebody tells us, no, you sit there. No, you sit there. No, you sit there. We need to be a space where we say, no, welcome. We have that African welcoming spirit. Come in. What would you like to eat? Sit down. Make yourself at home. That is what we are. But when we are not in Africa, when we go to those places that they say is good, you have to be, there's no space for you. They have to, it's almost like it's, not in all cases, please, I must add, but in majority of the feeling. And when you hear about aliens, and you see in the pictures, and it's Africans and all of that, it kind of, so even if you are not an immigrant yourself, you may be a British born like myself, but you feel it. I mean, the case of the Ukrainians that are being allowed to get to stay in the UK without any document whatsoever. No document. There's nothing wrong if the government wants to do that. I just wish they also extended that to Africans that were coming across. But no. Instead, what? They're going to send them to Rwanda. So you begin to look at all of this. And I actually think that we don't know how much power we possess as Africans to actually change things. So that's the idea that I'm coming up with. Africa Zoom 54. You will see the logo coming up in the, I'll be doing some little clips here and there, and just to put it out there, because we need to start. Good evening, Egosa. Oh yes, good evening, Egosa. Yes. Would you like to chat, my brother? Are you up for chatting? Please, anybody who wants to talk, I'm happy to bring you on. Ola, I'll add you as well. If anybody wants to talk, Akara Ogun. Yes, of course, I'll bring you on board. I didn't see you there. Ancient News. And I'll bring Tajuddin Rahim. Yes. So, I mean, there are things we need to do. Tajuddin, I'm going to say it on air. You were right all along, You were right all along. But we'll talk some more. You were right all along. And I'm saying that in front of the whole world now. You were right that we need to engage with certain things. And I've come to that realization. And I'm happy to admit that. Still things to doesn't mean I agree with everything in that way. But, yeah. Anyway. Egosa, my brother. Yeah. Evening. Welcome on board. Yes. Yeah. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I messaged you. You didn't reply. You saw my message, right?
I've actually added you. I've added you. I've sent you a WhatsApp thing, and I've created it. Let me just see. I've put your name down, and I added you on WhatsApp. Unless I've got the number mixed up, but I don't think so, because I just did. Let me see. It wouldn't come up. When I tried to add your number, it was like, okay, yeah, I typed it. 1 second. 1 second. Egosa Infinity, yes. So, let me just check. Can you send me that number again? I don't want to say it on air too much, so.
Okay, I will send it to you again.
Send it to me again. So because maybe that's what it was. Send it to me again, and I'll just check, and I'll check it myself again.
Yeah.
So I will do
This
that. Yeah, go ahead.
picture, this background picture behind you. What happened to who is that little girl?
Yes, thank you very much. That little girl is a girl from Zamfara State. She was married off at the age of, I don't think she's even 12. She was married off. Now, when she got married off, she stole away and went to get her books to read. When they found her trying to steal her, trying to get her books and read, 5 or 6 men, they held her and they were beating her with sticks. And she was begging and begging. And all she wanted to do was to just learn. She's somebody that's desperate to learn. Obviously, as a wife, they wouldn't, I mean, why should she be put in that position of having to be a wife at such a young age? That's the question that bothers me. I mean, so I was trying to tell people that within the Constitution, there is actually a section that says that it is illegal for them to dehumanize anybody in a degrading manner. Section 34(1)(a). No person shall be subject to torture or to inhuman or degrading treatment. Unfortunately, that is for 34(1)(a). Unfortunately, Section 29 of the Constitution allows for, they say, any woman married shall be deemed to be of full age, 29B. And then on A, it says full age shall mean the age of 18. So they've married off this girl, and as far as the law is concerned, she's 18 years old. So she's put in a quandary. Many of our girls are put in that quandary. So I'm trying to work out how we can actually get the police to arrest this man. Because what they were beating her mass. I mean, terrible. Terrible.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know what are your thoughts on that?
Yes. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's a very bad thing, You see, in most especially that northern part of Nigeria, they practice this thing. Yeah. If not because of media, this girl is not the only person going through this thing.
You hit the nail on the head. That's a good point you raised there.
She's not the only child. There are lots and lots, thousands of them. You understand? There are thousands of them.
Yes.
They marry out because they marry out these little girls. Because
sad.
It's also in their Quran, their Hadith, or what they call it, is also there. When even their Muhammad married Aisha at the age of 6 or so. You see it?
I'm beginning to suspect something. I'm beginning to suspect something. With the African Americans, when they were enslaved, they had their own Bible, and they wrote special things in there that they told them to do. So they will say to them, you have to bow to your masters, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm beginning to suspect that you do not hear this marrying off like this in Saudi Arabia and all these places. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't seem to be hearing that. But if they have done the same thing, just if they put the Quran that is in Saudi Arabia, it is possible, I am not saying for definite, that it may be different. Is that not a possibility?
Yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah, it's a possibility. And they have religious leaders that are aware of these things. Because all of them practice the same thing.
Yes.
That's northern Nigeria. They do it. Because before I left Nigeria, I grew up in the barracks. So all those northerners that are police, mopu, that they normally transfer to Benin. So I don't ask them questions. questions and they do tell me some certain things. Some of our people that also went there to serve, during the military and everything.
Yeah.
So they do tell me some certain things they've been observing while they were still in the training.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So they practice this thing there. They practice, and their religious leaders, they are aware of these things.
It's brainwashing. It's brainwashing. Because they keep telling them to recite it off it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. It's the same thing. Because you know what they did? There was a film called 12 Years... No, not 12 Years a Slave. 4th of July. I think 4th of July or something. It's called. And this black guy, he was so brainy that the slave master thought, yes, we can use him. He knew the Bible. So they wrote a specific Bible for the Africans who they enslaved. And they told him to read that to them. And he kept reading it to them. And then he got to a point he realized, these guys are trying to enslave the minds of our people. And he fought. And that was when he rebelled. Now, in the case of this imams and all of that, they are probably too far gone to even realize what we are just saying just now. I'd like somebody to do that investigation. That would be worth looking into. To find out if the Quran has got one particular, the normal Quran that is used across Saudi Arabia, and then the one that is designed specifically for Africans to ensure that we continue to be, to treat ourselves in such a degrading manner. I think, that concerns me, because what you said now, because I've been looking at the problem. It's always them. But then I remembered many of what was said in the Bible, and in fact, when they were coming to enslave and they were going on the Jesus ship and all of that stuff, Jesus is going to save your soul, and then they put them onto the ship and then they took them off, and all of that was to brainwash you to accept that this is your lot because the scripture said so.
Yes. You see, sir, apart from this religious aspect of it,
Yes.
I think it's a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
I think it's a cultural thing, because for a father to give her out a little child that can't even make decision of her own.
Yeah.
A little child of this age out for marriage. You understand? So I think it's a cultural thing, and our government have to look into it, because there are so many things that are within the culture that sometimes if you observe it, it's not supposed to be so. Those things need to change.
Of course it needs to change. Absolutely.
They need to change.
Yeah. It's wow. It's
to them, African women, they complain that the culture doesn't favor the women. It's always the men. They use it to oppress the women. Women this, that.
Yeah.
I hear women when they say these things. Sometimes I feel pity for them.
Yeah.
The society to observe, to observe it. The government have to observe these things, and all the religious leaders.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
So it's a cultural thing within this.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it before. I've heard it.
The problem I'm having, and I'm beginning to really look at it, because I looked at how we did things, how we became so staunch Christians. Because I've done some research in terms of Christianity as well, and I found that a lot of people that say they're Christian now. I can actually trace back. I can tell you, before 1852, in West Africa, there was no such thing as a Christian. I can tell you that. There was no such thing as a Christian. But because when they started the slow, covert indoctrination, they used different people, and then they used, they played the game. People don't realize this, that Samuel Ajayi Crowther in Yoruba land was, he was a slave. When they freed him, he was freed to the church, because they said, again, remember that similar thing with what I said about the the African American who was on the 4th of July something. I can't remember what it's called again. Oh, yeah, Nat Turner. Nat Turner. Nat Turner, the film is called. Nat Turner. Now, this, what they did is they freed Samuel Ajayi Crowder. His name is Ajayi. When he was enslaved, his name was Ajayi. When they freed him, they gave him the name Samuel Crowder, and they put Ajayi in the middle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now,
Yes.
they knew that he was brainy, so they used him as somebody that would get more people into the Christianity, because they wanted to stop us from following our spiritual ways. Now, so you can see the similarity what I said in terms of Nat Turner of the America. Similar thing. Now, with the case of the people who are the imams and all of that people locally, I'm sure I'm almost certain the similar things happen to such an extent now that many of them pass it down generation after generation, and it now becomes something you don't even question. You know, because it, like you said, when you think about it, you give your 8-year-old out because your religion says so. So they blurred the line between culture and the religion of Islam. But so that is where I think we need to work at somehow. But you're right, that is to unpick that place, because it is clear brainwashing. It is evident, and I'm almost certain. I'm going to try and do some research on that. I want to see what Quran we're reading. If they're reading, I mean, it's just I just haven't got enough time. I'd like somebody to do that research, to compare the Quran being read in Saudi in Arab land, to compare it with the one in Africa. See if there's any differences, because that would be something to look at. But you're right. Unfortunately, the government is not going to do anything radical, because they enjoy the people, you know, being pliant and compliant. They use it.
Yes,
I mean,
it's part of the Northerners' belief, because when I observed that Nigeria, I discovered there's this kind of Islamic. So the northern part of Nigeria is like they are Islamic states.
Yes.
They are being controlled by Islam. That is why we
Yeah.
need them with this one Sharia law.
Yes.
They call it Sharia law.
Yes.
You understand? It's very effective there. They call it
Yes.
Sharia law.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
That,
Yes.
When somebody does something, when somebody steals, you have to.
And they will cut their hands off right there. And I mean, without even, I mean, it's
Do you understand?
yeah.
So it's like there's another law that is functioning outside the federal law.
That is what was wrong. You see, this goes back to the 1999 Constitution. When they signed the 1999 Constitution that Abacha put in place, and Abdul Salam, you know, put on all our heads. As soon as they signed that, as soon as it became the Constitution, 12 northern states passed laws to say we wish to have Islamic law as, you know, as our law as well in our land. And they shouldn't have done that, because it requires the agreement for all parts of the country before they could have done that. But that agreement was never sought. And, you know, and they just imposed this. And there lies the problem. Because I have a document somewhere that actually talks about this. So, yeah. I mean, and of course, you know that Abacha brought us into, Babangida brought us into OIC. He brought us into OIC. Are you there? Hello? My brother? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Okay, good. So yeah. So I mean, there is a lot of things to unpick for us. But I think yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Hello, Ego sir.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Now, one of the things I think we need to do is, again, I think we have to look at the Hausas.
Listening.
Okay, the Hausas. We need to hear the Hausas. we need to sort of get into the Hausa communities, and hopefully enlighten them about the constitution. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. Anyway, my brother, I'm really grateful for your time, for giving me that time. Before you go, what do you propose? What do you see as a solution to the problem?
Yeah, this solution, what I say as a solution to the problem is we have to create an awareness.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, on all social media platforms concerning this issue.
Okay.
Without the awareness, until the governments need to know about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to create an
Awareness. Okay, that's a good start.
So that will be the path to the solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Brilliant. No, I greet you. Any more comments you'd like to add in terms of general comments? Africa, maybe Nigeria. If anything that you have on your mind that you'd like to say, as a parting comment before I let you go.
I don't really have much to say. Few things I just want to say is that we as Africans, I'm happy that we are beginning to wake up gradually. So we are the generation we are just trying to lead the path, because we have a lot to do. We have a long way to go. So that we are trying to lead this very path, so that the next generation will meet the path and follow up the same. So I want to use the opportunity to beg everybody that's hearing the sound of my voice right now.
Yeah.
We should please be focused. We should please go and do research. We need to recognize ourselves. We need to know ourselves, because we've been living in too much hate within ourselves.
Yeah.
We are afraid of ourselves.
Yeah. And what you just said there, I would just like to pick up on that point. I think it's important to understand that this has been something that's been fed into us psychologically, because of the kind of books that we've been told to read, the kind of activities we have to be involved in, repetition of the same thing, create mistrust within our within our own societies, African societies. Let me tell you this. Let me show you something, or just say something. When they looked at the 10,000 sculptures and artifacts that the Vatican took from Africa, they were using words like they were astonishing, they are amazing, and they said it shows the untainted social culture and spirituality of Africa. Those are the words they used. They used those words. And now if you look at Africa, it's anything but those things.
Yeah. Do you know what happened, sir?
Yes.
In 2016, I visited the museum here in Italy. Yeah, they took us to a museum in a city called Follonica. They have a museum there. Yeah. So when they took us there, they took away our phones, camera, everything away from us.
What?
Yes. So
no.
They will not they said they won't allow us to take a photo, any photo or video, anything. They took away our wristwatch, our glasses.
My brother, one second. And these are the same people that are telling you to pray, right?
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
They took everything away from us. 2016, they took everything away from us. They searched us, they brought police, they did all the search after search.
What?
Then they said we should go inside. So we went inside, and everything I saw there was 90 or 99% Africa stuff.
Wow. You see him? Where was this?
Follonica in Italy.
Follonica in Italy. You see this?
Yeah, in Italy. So
wow.
And everything I saw there was Africa stuff. Our history, even our books, our tablets, the wooden tablets, they would do carve writing signs, everything, So
what?
I started asking question, what is this? And the woman would tell me, this is these signs are for technology, Asian technology, this, I will see everything right there. Africa stuff. You know, so I was like, the thing was it was so shocking. You understand? So when I started doing research and I said, oh, then later I heard that they also have some in the UK
Yes, they do.
also. Yeah. I said, oh, no wonder.
And in the Vatican, they have even more in the Vatican. There's a video I saw recently. I'm actually going to pick that video up and actually do a piece on that. But listen, I think we need to come on this particular thing. Can you sort of have are you good at drawing?
What?
Are you good at drawing? Are you a good artist drawing? Can you draw?
No.
Okay, because I was wondering if you could sort of reimagine what you saw and then sketch it out. And then we could do a live broadcast and you could talk about it, so that people could get, because this is very, very important information you just said here. And I thank you for sharing on this platform. I'm really grateful. I mean, this is so there is more. Obviously, there is more stuff that's been hidden right across the whole of the Western world.
Yeah, there is more. There is more. There was something that happened even when I was in Libya. There was something that happened that made me to believe that this religion they forced it into us.
Of course.
I was in Libya and these Libya guys they came to us. We were transiting to the next city.
Yeah.
They came to us with guns. Asking us, are you Christian or Muslims? So the other guy said he's a Christian. Are you getting it? Immediately they shot the guy.
Jeez.
You understand? So when they shot the guy, every other person they started denying, oh, I'm not a Christian. So they asked me, are you Christian? I said, I'm not a Christian. They said, okay, we have to join Muslim. You understand? At gunpoint.
Guys, are you hearing this? Guys, are you hearing this?
A lot of people can testify to this. A lot of Nigerians went through this. A lot of Ghanaians, Senegals, Gambians, they went through this process in the Libya route. At gunpoint, you start practicing a Muslim religion. How to read the Quran, how to say whatever thing they are saying, how to bow down your head 5 times, and all those stuff.
Can you see something? My brother, hold that thought. You said something just now that I think we need to really understand. You said people from Senegal, from Gambia, from Nigeria, from everywhere were going through Libya. Now, as far as Europe is concerned, or as far as coming in, we are all Africans, right? But when it comes to we being in Africa, oh no, you're Nigerian. Oh no. Oh, you're French. Oh, you're Congolese. Oh no. So it is to divide us, and they can control those areas. They don't want us to stand together at that point. When they now see that we're coming to Europe, they put us all together. They don't care what you are. Did you see that? Did you get that, my brother?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you see? So we need to really, these are the kind of things that we have to really
I get it.
uncover. We need to uncover. So this idea, they have made us accept ourselves as Nigerians, as Cameroonians, for their purposes, not ours. Not ours.
Not ours, yeah.
Whereas when we go over there,
The problem is,
yes.
The problem is we as Africans, we will still be waiting for the people who brought the problem to us.
Yes.
To also give us
No more.
Do you understand?
I beg that sheep. We're not doing that again.
We are in problem.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they are benefiting from it.
Yes.
So they can never give us solution.
No.
They know that when they bring solution, they are going to be the one in problem.
That's it.
So we can't get solution from
No.
from
We have to look inwards.
Seek the solution ourselves.
Wise
Because
words.
The solution is within us.
Wise
The
words.
solution is within us.
Yes, it is within our own communities coming together. So you're going to be joining the Africa Zoom 54. You're going to be part of it. I want people from 54 countries. So anybody watching now, if you are on the African continent or the Mauritania, I think it is, or the small, any of those islands, and you are African, you must make sure that you have somebody representing your area in this first Africa Zoom 54. What we just need to do, we're not making any plans at this minute. The first thing is, let's just meet up. Let us just be comfortable in amongst ourselves and just be around ourselves on that space in the Zoom, just to be comfortable, so that we can, because right now we are going through hurdles that has been put in our face, in place for us to restrict us. So we are never our true selves. When it comes to you and I, we're busy trying to run around. But if we actually now in a space where we don't have to conform to anybody's standards, we are just ourselves, and we're trying to understand how we can begin to build our interactions as Africans. That is what we need. That is the key thing. So talking among ourselves is very important. And always, I know yes, we have the English and the French, and but over time, what we want to do is we will be getting some keywords in our local languages, Wolof, Igbo, Yoruba, so that we can understand each other and start picking up things that that matters about us. Because, like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, a lot of people in Africa, when you say that we educate our young, they say, no, we have no education. No, it's wrong. Education, the fact that you're speaking your language to your child, you are educating that child in your language. So these are the kind of things that we have to begin to break down among ourselves to change that narrative. We're not waiting for somebody to solve it for us. We know the governments who are there largely, except for the Alliance of Sahel states, which I really am happy about. The other governments, they are largely, sorry to say it, puppets of the West, because they carry out things that the West asked them to do. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about. I need to come and talk about the UN. The UN and the fact that we have 54. Africa is the largest bloc of votes in the UN. We're the largest, and yet we have no seat at the Security Council. Our concerns as Africans are not dealt with. Instead, they will ask us to come and vote. They will pay our presidents to come and vote with them on issues they want to put through. But when we talk about what concerns Africa, they don't want to hear it. They don't allow it. In fact, Dr. Arikana Chombori-Kwao said we should pull out, and I want to do a program about that. And I'd like you to be involved. In fact, I'm going to call you so that you can be part of the discussion, because I think we need to be doing this kind of things. It's very important to have meaningful discussions like this among ourselves. It's not about trying to sort of, I'm not interested in, they've done this, they've done that. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what are we doing to solve the problem, if not for ourselves, but for the coming generation to benefit from our sweat in making sure that Africa is free.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you see the Sierra Leonean First Lady? She said that Africa is not free. She said in our country, they don't have control of any of their resources, even though they are resource rich. It is run by either Chinese, UK, France, other countries. So, and that's, I'm telling you, that applies to Nigeria as well. People may not believe me, but it applies to Nigeria.
Yes, applies to Nigeria.
So I don't know. Very, very. We've touched on something that we can actually. It's like we've opened another can of worms. But no. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Listen, my brother. I will talk soon. Please text me that number, and I'll reconfirm the number I put in. So, because I need to add you urgently. And anybody else who wants to add, just let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll add you. Thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate you joining me on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. It's been really a real pleasure. Thanks, my brother. Talk soon. Have a great weekend. Bye. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, so sorry about that. And those of you on YouTube, you may not see my face that much because I've just been moving about a fair bit. I've been moving about a fair bit. So you may not have seen me as you would normally with my full focus on you because I've been trying to discuss with people on TikTok. Oh, TikTok, don't forget, I'm here, don't worry. So thank you so much for the likes. Let me see. Infinity, yes, I'll invite others as well who can be guests. If you want to, oh yes, Simire, yes, I'll invite you, absolutely. If you're able to join, I'll add you. Let me add others. So anybody who wants to have a discussion, anything around Africa, and I need you to understand that Africa is really the problems that we face in various countries. They are exactly the same. They are exactly the same problems. It is just, you know. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, okay. 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. 1 sec. Just want to try and adjust something here. I think something is come off. Okay. Yeah. Give me a second. I'm just going to adjust something here, right quick. So you will not. I'm here. I'm just trying to fix something on YouTube because the picture has gone. Oh, they can see me now. Okay. 1 second. Oh, we're back in touch. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Are we back? Am I back? On the camera, can you see me now? Yeah, I think you can. I just need to adjust it back. So 1 second, I'm just trying to adjust. I've lost the focus on the camera. So people may think I've gone, but I've not gone. Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can. There's a picture of me. I can see things, but okay. Let me try again. One more time. Give me a minute, please. Yeah, I'm having some sort of technical issue here, but never mind. So if anybody wants to join me, you're very welcome to join me. Oh yeah, we're back. Let me see. I'm trying to see if it works. There's something that's not quite right here. I'm trying to adjust it right. So basically we are hoping that we can solve the issue as regarding address the concerns about the young girl. We don't even know her name. Anybody know the name of the young girl that I'm showing you? Does anybody know her name? Because we need to know her name. Oops, sorry. Okay, let me see if I can get this right. So anybody know the name of the young girl that was physically abused? We would like to know her name. You know, we would like to know her name. We will need to know her name and know, you know, how she's doing and all of that, because she was badly beaten. You know, she really was badly beaten from the video. And like I stated, I cannot share that video. I wouldn't want to share the video at all. I wouldn't want to share that video. I'm still trying to adjust. You can see me fiddling on the camera here. It suddenly went off. It went off course somehow. I don't know why. I don't know why it's done that. It should normally be working fine. But you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. Let me take a bit of a break and I'll come back later on. Then I'll probably come and talk about the Africa Zoom 54 in a lot more detail. But the thing to also bear in our mind, I may also talk more. I may start off with the United Nations. And I think we need to be asking the questions. Should we pull out of the United Nations since they ignore our concerns? They only want us to vote to support their concerns, but our concerns on Africa that is leading to Africans leaving the African continent because of the wars that they ultimately are creating, isn't it time we left the United Nations? How do you feel about that as an African? Because, you know, I mean, when you see what they've done in terms of Ukraine, what they've done in terms of Ukraine is horrendous. Ukraine, you can, if you're Ukrainian, you can get, you know, you can stay, you can, you know, you're free to go in all over Europe. But if you're African, they're trying to get you back to Rwanda. You know, I don't get that. I mean, I don't know. That concerns me somewhat. So I don't know how you feel about that. So, but we are going to sort of I'll have a bit of a break. Let me have a bit of a break, and then I'll come back. And I might post another video in between. There's another video that I saw that concerns me a little bit. But let's see how things go. But for now, I want to thank you all. So, like I said, well, before we go, I want to leave on a hopeful note. We need to live on a hopeful note. I firmly believe that we need to raise awareness, very much like my brother Egosa. I hope I'm saying it right. My brother. Very much like he said. Oh, is anybody else here? Mary Ogiri. Do you want to talk? Anybody want to join me? If you do want to talk for a few minutes, I've got a few minutes here. HF Francis. Yeah. If you want to have a quick chat, I'm happy to add. Susie. Oh, of course. No question. Susie, you've been there. So we're talking about this young girl that has been badly abused. So Susie, I know that's your forte. So we'd like to hear from you. Actually, Susie, do join us. She's barely 12 years old and she's been married off in Zamfara State. And basically what's happened is that they've forced her to marry, and so she stole away. She ran back home to get her books and then come back to her husband. She wasn't going to stay at home, but because she went to get the books, she was physically abused. I mean, the video is horrendous. It is a truly horrendous video, and that's why we're having the discussion. And of course, it goes into a wider discussion about apparently this happens right across Africa. There was a lady called Chadra, and she said the child marriage is rife across many African states. So, Susie, if you do want to join, you're welcome, and we can chat. I will throw you I've thrown you a video invite, but I think you probably stepped away. I'll have to do it another time. If you're not able to join, obviously it means that you have something else planned, and I'll give you a chat later on. I'll give you a call later on. So the issue now is about this young girl. Sorry about those of you on YouTube. I do apologize for the picture being somewhat unplanned. 1 minute. Let me just try and get that off. Okay. I'm trying to sort something out here. I'm multitasking, if you like. So, 1 minute. Oh. So, yeah. I'm just going to just take something here. Then I'll probably round up a little bit here. But I'll be back later on, no doubt. I'm just trying to check something here. I don't know what's going on with this camera today. It's just playing up. So I'm not able to fix it. So guys, you know what I'll do? Since nobody's accepted the invite, I want to thank everybody that's joined me. Kole Ade. Okay, let me Yvonne. Let me bring on Yvonne. If you wanted to, anybody who wants to talk now, we got the next 4 or 5 minutes. Whilst they will give me a chance to fix this if it doesn't work, to sort the thing out for YouTube. I do apologize for the YouTube followers for the sudden break in my picture. You can hear me all right, but I'm here. But the picture is not quite doing what I wanted to do. So, yeah. So what I'll do, I think I'll probably bring this to a close. I'm going to come back. Just want to have a bit of a break. I'll come back again and we'll do some more. I think I'm going to talk about the UN. But I'm definitely, we're looking for 54 Africans in a Zoom. Africa Zoom 54. Africa Zoom 54. We're looking for 54 Africans from 54 African countries to join in a Zoom. You don't have to be at home, but as long as you are from that country, you can be part of it. So if you are from Congo and you are happen to be in Russia, or you happen to be in in France, yes, you meet the criteria. So we just, as long as you have connection, direct connection with the soil, because what we're trying to do is now to start meeting up and making sure we'll meet up despite the lines, the colonial lines drawn across Africa. We need to do that. We just have to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Please do share this broadcast, leave a comment, and of course, I'll hear from you. I mean, there's some interesting facts. We are now hearing, I mean, you heard Egosa talk about the fact that in Italy, they took off their caramas, they hid it from them, they checked them out because they didn't want us to see, they didn't want Africans to be able to know what our ancestors had. That piece, I'm going to seek it out, and anyway, we'll do something on that. Thank you all once again. You've been watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak to the power. Please follow, share, leave a comment, and I'll endeavor to follow back as well. And also, don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe to Citizen AY. For now, thank you and bye for now. Thank you for watching. I'll be back shortly. Thank you. Bye for now. Okay. Book. When will I get some? Hi. No, I don't. Hi there. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for getting back in touch. When I get some book. Thanks. 349. Okay. Yeah. Please for the Africa Zoom 54. For the Africa Zoom 54, we're looking for Africans from all African countries. Have an Africa first, to have just open discussion, open non-agenda Zoom meeting. Meet up via Zoom. The number is Leave your name and number. Leave your name. Number and country. And I will add you to this, and I will add you. To the Zoom, Africa Zoom 54 group on WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Thanks for your contributions today. Today. Talk later. Oh man, oh, who like me, man? Yeah, me. $3935. So let me just check what happened here. So let me close that one off. So let me just check that number. What's his name again? Egosa. Is it Italy? Let's just check him. 39393. Yeah. 512 53 7929. Egosa Infinity. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nigeria. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. And let's kind of look in here. Maybe that will do it. Edit. Okay. Edit. Egosa. So what the fuck happened here? We didn't even know. Huh? Okay, I know what it is, I think. I don't know what happened. Just sorry about that. Guys, I gotta go.